In this video, part 2 of my stencil cutting session, you will see me cut 2 more stencils from photos I had taken and making all of these prints. And I have a little surprising extra technique for you. Hello Jelly fans! Before I start cutting my new stencils, I will show you, as promised, the workout of this print that combined my former 2 stencils in one. As you see here, a forest stencil and an avocado-like stencil from my bathroom that I cut from my own photos. This is only for 2 minutes though, and then I start cutting the new ones. If you haven't seen the first part of this, where you see how I made this one and others, here is the link. I'm enhancing little dots and little patterns in the trees that the Gelli plate generously gives us. I like this print particularly because it has this strong contrast, not only in color and tone, but also in transparent and dark black opaque paint. I am only enhancing the shadows of the trees in the background, otherwise it would be hard to even see them. I think I took the excess paint here with a deli paper, which gives me those halos around the trees. And all I'm doing before I finish is working out some more little details and also giving the shadow of the frame, giving a shadow to the frame, only in the lower part and on the right side. As you know, I always do that. And that will be all I'm doing to this. Yeah, I think this one turned out quite nicely. And remember, I have a Shopify shop. You can buy this original there or prints of it. The link to my shop is underneath the info box underneath the video. So to finish this, I just have to sign it. And I'm finding a very very funny space to sign it. So it's like inside the forest. I love this one, partly because it seems to be lit from the back. So here's my prints of my photos that I made on transparent foils. And as I showed you last time, I have the bamboo on one side, and I mistook this one and printed the avocado tree on the other side. But I will still use it to cut the bamboo. And this is a spider's web. I turn it to the negative. This is why you see that black space up there, and the original is just white. Glowing white, but I'll take care of that one a little later. And as you can see, it's quite easy to cut through it because this is a foil that obviously you can print on, and with a laser printer, that is, and probably also with an inkjet, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's very thin. It's only 0.1 millimeters strong. And also it resists well as a stencil, which is also important. So all of you who have difficulties cutting thicker foils, this is an alternative because it's really thin. But you have to be sure when you take out parts out like this, that you cut all the way, because if you didn't, you are risking to rip apart that foil. Yeah, this is a little bit a job for masochists who like to cut for hours until their fingers hurt. But wait until I cut the bamboo. That is much worse. Here I have lost the connection, but that's only a small part and it doesn't matter. Now I'm taking care of the black spot there, and I'm using a white fine liner. It's actually a fabric liner. And it's permanent. So I'm kind of filling in the holes here to get to, well, to copy the structure of the net. And after a little while I can already see this is too perfect, you know. The other lines are just all crooked and different and, you know, tangling and turning and so on. So after I've begun to cut the center of the net, I know I have to do something about it and change this a little bit. It's not possible to erase the white anymore, so I have to use a black marker. So I'm drawing in some kind of irregular pattern, you know, crossing the lines with some irregular spider's string, whatever you call that, what they produce. And actually, you know, like almost everybody I know, I don't like spiders much, but you have to admit that this is a miracle what they're doing. These nets are just so perfect, and that's why they're probably so interesting in art. And while you're drawing and cutting this, you get closer to that miracle. You understand how the net works. This is always when you draw something or cut something, you get closer to how these things are made of. I'm drawing some more lines here that are missing. And after what feels like hours, I finally get there. And I think I can leave it like this. It seems a little delicate because it doesn't have a frame to cling to. But I wanted that. Didn't want the frame to show in the print. So here are the other prints from part 1 that I made with the gladiolus, and I'm holding the spider's web over it to see if that can be combined. But the gladiolus prints are really so unique. I just don't want to do that to them. And I have this other blueprint that I made with the avocado stencil. Avocado tree stencil, and this I think can work because the background is very dimmed. I thought it wouldn't do anything, so I didn't even show the printing of this one, but it can work as a background for the spider's web. I'll try that. And this is a very special technique that I'd like to show you in the same printing process. So before I go on with the spider's web, I'll show you how this was a very, very happy accident that happened just because I was cleaning that stencil. As before, I was printing with the avocado tree in my bathroom, this one, and I took the excess off with some rice paper and took that print. This I just printed it purely by itself, and I think, I don't know, that structure inside the tree is so beautiful that I didn't do anything more to this one. And I just wanted to clean that stencil with a baby wipe, I think. And that had happened to me before, so I thought I'd put a white sheet under it. And when I wipe the paint off, it leaves the negative space of the stencil. And by turning it a bit, it even makes this one more interesting. Now, this doesn't look like much, but then I put that remaining ghost print from that print before, that was on the gel plate still, and I printed it on this one, and it happened to be a little out of registering, and that's what made this one so interesting. I just put some more shadows there. This is actually enhancing this structure of the wipe a little bit, and that made it so interesting. And I think this is just a wonderful new trick. So please do try this at home when you're printing with the stencil the next time. In the following, I'm trying to repeat this with the spider's web, but it doesn't turn out as beautiful as this one. There are even some water drops or whatever they are to work out. And more of the texture here. I just love that sense of movement this one has. Very special. I can't even tell you why I decided to give these wipes an outline. And that was a good decision, I think. Yeah, and this is it. And I'm so happy with this one. Sorry for my dog's noises again. So as I said, I'm going to print the spider's web on this one. And I'm looking for the right position. And I don't think I want to do it on the right side. That would all be too mushy and mixed up. So I'll place it on the left side. And I'm putting a paper frame on it so that the print of the spider's web doesn't go over the edges of the other print. So I have to turn it around this way to have the result the other way. And I'm brayering on a mixture of blue and black, and I want it to be really dark but have a hint of black. Blue, I mean. Yeah, black and blue. So I'm placing it on there. It's a little wobbly too. Taking off the excess with a regular water paper. Nice negative print. And taking off the stencil. And turning the gel plate around. Putting the frame on the other print. And now I placed it on there and turn it around again, rub the paper in a bit, and this is the result. And while the paint on the stencil is still wet, remember this is only possible with the slow drying acrylics. I'm taking the paint off and moving it onto the blank sheet underneath with a baby wipe, and I'm trying to get this movement that I like. And I'm even moving the stencil a little bit to make it more irregular. This is the result of this first print. Sorry, my dog's very loud in the background again. And I'm making another print of the spider's web, turn it around and placing it with a little misregistering, and something went wrong in the lower right corner there. As you can see, a part of the stencil printed before I wanted it. So it's a nice print, but somehow I don't really like it. I think the second print should have been a little less dark. Anyway, I'm working on this a little bit with my pencils and also with the fineliner, and trying to ignore my dog. I'm working out just a little bit. I'm not finishing this, but try it for yourself. I'm also working out just a little bit this one, because those the other stencil in the back of the avocado tree, that's really faint. So I'm just giving it a little more enhancement. And the gel plate gave me from the stencil a little mini halo effect. It's hard to see, and that's why I'm also going along it with the fineliner. but not all the space that the web takes, just a little on the sides. And that's it. So now for the cutting of the bamboo stencil. As I said before, I printed it as an accident, again, not a happy accident, on the same foil with the avocado tree, but I don't want to waste the sheet, so I'm going to use it to cut the bamboo. It's a little difficult, but as the avocado tree is on the other side, I can see by the matteness or by the shine which plant I have to cut out, if you know what I mean. So I'm working my way around the leaves and the leaf tips, and I have to cut them all out before I can take the lower side off completely. I'm very carefully ripping it here as not to rip the foil. And I'm basically doing the same thing all around that bamboo plant. And it's already a lot of work. But the worst is yet to come. In hindsight, I would say that it would be wise to leave a frame here and attach some of the outer leaves to it. So that's much more durable for the printing process. But there you go, it's just a very delicate stencil. I don't know how long I can print with it before it breaks apart. And by the way, I'm cutting with a surgical knife here, and it's very, very good, but it's very, very sharp and so a little dangerous. So be careful with this. And they're only good as long as they're new. And so... And I have put a white sheet of paper underneath it because I can see it better where the holes have to be. So here it's really difficult that there's a print on the other side. It's difficult to tell where you have to cut on the inside, and this is where it's getting really masochistic. This is just too much. All those hundreds of little spaces I have to cut out. This is sped up 8 times, I think, so you can imagine how long this took me. And I simplified this a little bit just to not freak out completely. So I left some spaces out and leave them be in the dark. So this is almost finished. And you see that where the cut marks were made and took a little bit of paint with it? It's almost an artwork by itself. And I will be printing on a rather cheap school watercolor paper, but it has 150 GSM, so that's it can take some paint. And I'm working with the golden open paints again, and I'm using a yellow. It's a transparent yellow, whatever. They always have 4 words. And transparent brown. I write down all the materials down in the info box below. And I'm taking off the excess paint with the rice paper, and I have to go with my fingers in all those little holes I just cut. And it's already obvious to me that I took too much paint. That layer is just too thick. And so that print is more or less a fail. It's interesting somehow, but what is it showing? I have no idea. This time I want to print with a phthalo blue by Golden Open as well. And I'm taking the excess with the rice paper again, taking care that there are some wrinkles to give me a little texture. And I think I used too much paint again. Anyhow, I'm gonna print this on my little failure. Rub it in for a while. And it's interesting what became of this one, but I think it's yucky. Too much spread blue, I think. Too thick layers. The ghost print I want to take off with transparent brown because it would go well with the blue. And this is the third fail with this stencil. I'm a little afraid I might lose all my followers. Please don't leave me. There's better prints coming up. I just wanted to show you the failures as well. So same, but thinner layer of blue. Don't be confused, this is the back side of another failure. And this could work out, I think. It has these little halos I so love. And that's quite nice. Also one print that I'm not gonna work out because I think it's perfect like this. But you know me, I'm always trying to find that little something that inspires me to work something out. So I'll keep on trying, again with the yellow and the brown. Taking off paint with another failure. That actually looks quite interesting. What was that? So this I am printing on that access paint print, and I deliberately don't register it right. And that worked. I like that. Still not happy with these results. So I'm thinking I should really do more with the background. Otherwise it's just boring bamboo. BB. So I'm using the carbon black. And I'm taking off with deli paper this time and just pressing in some spaces. So you can see I get a little bit of an interesting effect on the outside of the bamboo here. Typical deli paper structure. And I printed it on that brownish fail I just had. And it's very dark but mysterious, and I like it. And I'm going on with a pure black. I want to try another trick to get texture. Putting on the bamboo stencil, which still works. And I'm taking the rice paper, but wrinkling it, and then pressing the wrinkles on. And I'm taking care that I'm not pressing everything down. And as you can see, this is so interesting. Ooh, I'm excited now. I've done this a million times before, but the rice paper keeps surprising me. Isn't that a lovely texture? Beautiful. I'm still obsessed with the brown and blue combination, so I'm gonna repeat that with the same structure making. Now I'm speeding this up, I don't want to bore you to death. Now it is a little strange how this brown turned into a sort of muddy green. But well, the result is okay. And this is the last one. I'm doing with the black again, and I want to put the texture inside the bamboo. Oh, sorry, not pure black. I'm adding a little blue to the top. I want to take off as much of the surrounding paint as possible, so I'm taking the excess off with a watercolor paper. And now that I've taken off the stencil, I'm coming in with a wrinkled rice paper again, and I'm trying to get this interesting texture inside bamboo. And I have to be really careful not to overdo it, because then you suddenly might lose the bamboo structure. And I think I overdid it just a little bit. But this is just the first test. And here's the last one of that session. I don't really know what to make of it. I am not sure if I like it. But I think it is possible to repeat this in a much better way. I'm just giving it some outlines to not lose the bamboo shape. But that's all I'm doing to it. I'm not even finishing it here because I have to get the video ready. And the video is so long already, and I haven't even shown you the workout of the gladiolus prints I made the last time. Please give me a comment in the comment section and tell me if you want to see that. I still have all this material that I shot about the working out of the gladiolus. And I think they turned out very beautiful, and I would be happy to make even a third part of this one to show you this. Wow, this was a long video and a lot of work, but I had fun doing all these beautiful pictures, and I hope you had too, and I'm looking forward to see you next week. Bye!